Astrology time. Shane here, daily-astrocat.com, and welcome to Saturday. Saturday, the moon's going to be void, of course, at 7:03 in the morning. And let's see, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I don't know. Is it going to enter Virgo? Books behind me. Don't know. Hold on. Yeah, it enters Virgo at 4:55 p.m. So we have a totally long void, of course, day, and that was absolutely appropriate for that, right? Put yourself on pause. It's been a really tough week. The retrograde has been tough. It's given us a week of Mondays. The moon passing from Leo, boy, that brought out some behavior in people too, didn't it? Sure did. Just notice the people around you, what it did, what it didn't do, and just, don't let it affect you, because really you're coming into something totally different, and what you're coming into different is going to be better for you in the long run, right? Now, that's because you're in the know. That's because you listen to daily-astrocat.com. Okay, so, look, a peaceful morning, it's going to be harmonious and peaceful, right? Why? That feels very Libra, yet we've got a void, of course, moon going from Leo into Virgo. Well, we can feel that. We're feeling that because we've got Venus kind of sextile with the moon later on, and she's in Gemini. So we're feeling this. We're feeling like our mind's going to calm down a little bit. There may have been some tension there with the Mercury Retrograde that we're not going to really be feeling. We were feeling there was a feeling of people trying to get too much out there. And the best way to do it, and the most intuitive way to do it, was just to sense what others needed and then deliver upon that. We've got a moon trine Chiron, and that falls very much into that, taking care of the other people, taking care of people that you feel like might be a little bit overlooked. And that was kind of interesting. Now, that was really awkward. Don't know why I did that. I might have to cut that out of there. Okay, so we're taking care of the people that need to be taken care of. Now, sensing a larger plan, the moon calms down. And the Virgo tendency is like a little bit of a nervous energy, right? But there's a bigger plan in play. The moon senses this. The moon knows this. The moon says, hey, look, we're completing something here. There's something here that we've started a long time ago that we're starting to enter into that phase, right? A month from now, you're not even going to realize that this stuff is a blip on the radar. It's going to be totally new. There's something new that's going to happen. I told you about the 3 trains. What if that one train was just a train to leave your baggage off so you can get on an express train for this point next year and just go? We have to leave something behind with that eclipse coming up, and the eclipse is coming up in Virgo, and it's not coming up for another month, but it's going to be totally different, right? It might even be 5 weeks, right? But that's going to be different, and from that point there is where we're going to start noticing what we're doing. Look, the moon is passing over these yod points with Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto. This indicates where we're no longer chasing details and remaining tethered to what it is that we're doing. Whatever earthly thing we're tied to, whatever 3D thing we're tied to, we're no longer tethered. We are now free to explore potentials and what it is that we can become, what it is that we need to get rid of, and what it is that we need to express, both as people, spiritually, and creatively. That's a good part, right? Now, instead, look, we're not chasing that stuff. We are going to release bad habits, some worrisome things, get back to some good stuff, right? We've got a moon trine Chiron, healthy things that can help others. That's what we want to be doing. Helping ourselves allows us to help others. And today's keyword is lighten, as in lighten your load. Start getting rid of that baggage. Don't wait for the month and for the eclipse to be like, okay, I did. No, if you're in the habit, if you've done it, and you already have semi-moved on, when that eclipse happens, you're going to be able to move on totally, right? The color is silvery light on trees. Now, the sun in Leo may not always be right, but at least it points us in a direction that we want to be facing. The Mercury Retrograde made it very difficult, right? The week of Mondays. It was messed up, right? But it worked out. It worked out in our favor because we're able to communicate realistically, even though the communication was fraught. What was communicated was genuine, and that's because of how you approached the retrograde. It wasn't the, oh my goodness, no, you know it was going to be messed up. You know that it was going to be something that we had to address. You addressed it and you did it well. It wasn't easy, but it still is the point where we need to be. Now, it's the Leo moon, good at keeping up appearances, right? Right? You can be on top of things too, somewhat, maybe. Details, they're best left to Virgo, okay? So this next week coming up, we're going to get off to a better start because we're going to start dealing with some of these details. We're going to start dealing with what it is that we need to do to be able to analyze what we need to do better. And what we're doing better is giving up the old shit. That's right. We're going to be getting better at working towards that transition point where we're going to be going, and we're going to take off in different directions. You may not be in that same spot. I certainly am. And in some ways, you will find yourself ready to do something like that too. It really depends upon your chart and what it is that you need to be moving towards and giving up. Give you a hint. Look for your midheaven in your chart, because Uranus is bringing changes to those areas, right? Also, yeah, it's a very good spot to look, because that midheaven is a place where you want to be putting your goals, right? You want to be able to go out there and do the things that you need to do to make your life better. That's that trine with Venus talking today, right? Venus and Mars may be at odds, but it's not for long, because Venus will start catching up with Mars, and then we'll come to that harmonious point, right? It's a cycle. It always is a cycle. I love the cycles. Now, when things appear iffy, the moon in Virgo, the moon in Leo, iffy things, we just talk louder. Virgo things, we drill down. We're going to do the things that we need to do, okay? Now, Uranus is squaring the moon. Changes are coming to the neighborhood, and these changes are meant to be lasting. Pluto represents hidden wealth. The sun is opposing Pluto, and it's going to reveal where the treasure is at. That's right. We've been digging around this point. This is like that whole Mars thing where it came around, right? Where you're at right now, personally, not with the noise of last week, not the Mercury noise, because that's noise. Where you're at as far as moving in your life changes, all of that stuff, right? Career, creativity, whatever it is, this is where you're meant to be. This is where that treasure map's gonna be next year. X marks the spot. Trust me on this, okay? This is where your X is for next year. This is the spot. This is where we're at. Sometimes we need to lighten our loads, okay? That Mars energy is the one that you're looking towards, right? That's active. That's what we're going to have to be doing. Pay attention to where Mars is, because that's where we're going to be at. We're in a very, very good part of the year for affecting change and making that change happen and permanent. And once Mars goes into Scorpio, boom, that's when you're going to get your power, okay? Libra, you're learning. Scorpio, boom. Sagittarius, explode. Capricorn, permanent. That's what we're going to do. Now, sometimes we need, I already said that, lighten the load. We need to make space for things that have greater value to us. We're making space. We're making time. And pinpoint the frequency. Just listen to where you're at. Still use the intuition, right? You can't lose that intuition, because even though the moon is in Mercury, the Mercury-ruled sign of Virgo, it's opposite Pisces. Intuition is still very important to listen, because you're not going to get the opposing message to what it is that you're trying to work on unless you're open to the frequencies that are coming in from outside of you, outside of your visible world, the world that's there, right? We have other things that we need to accomplish as well. Now, in 1865, the capital of New Zealand moves from Auckland to Wellington. Didn't know that, but that's fine. And Carl Jung, that's our birth for today. Born in 1875, he's a Swiss psychiatrist, very famous, right? We know him. We all know him in this community here, because of Jungian psychology and the archetypes and what the tarot represents, and how he integrated astrology and tarot into various aspects of what it was that he was explaining about the human experience. Is formative for a lot of people. A lot of people that come from this from a psychological point, right? That's what we got. So he founded analytical psychology, and he's born in Keswell, Switzerland, and that's what we got for you. He died in 1961. Let's sum it up. The color is silver light on trees, and we're going to lighten our loads. The key word is lighten. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate and love every single one of you. Do all the nice things. Do all the nice things all over the place, right? Concentrate on doing nice things this weekend. It'll go far. Today is a 5. Happy astrocatting.